Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently up 0.39% to 29,351. Ethereum up the same, 0.39% to 1970. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as part of our globally extended KS family. What I've done is to just take you through each of the sectors of the crypto market. It's really important that you have a finger on the pulse of what crypto is doing. Sometimes people get really focused on one particular thing. We must look at everything. That's why I go through all of these sectors with you each time we do a video together. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the Masterclass, the NFT collection, the tax software I use that comes with a 20% discount. Also, you can directly message me on Twitter at any time. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. The sun will come out again, and there's always hope. Crypto requires diamond hands to hodl, a diamond mind to BORSOG, and a diamond heart to live with authenticity and happiness, and a lack of inner conflict and outer conflict. When it comes to money, we all tend to hold on to past stories that can burn us. They're not in our favor. I suggest burning past stories that no longer serve you. For example, I'm no good at this. I can't make it. All of those kind of stories disempower you. You want to burn those stories. That's why we focus on positive excellence and maintaining real wealth foundations, such as integrity, decency, gratitude, and happiness. Being grateful is incredibly important. We're breathing. That's already a reason to be grateful. But many people can't see that. They always compare themselves to others, and they say, this person has so much more than me. And that person is saying, this other person has so much more than me. And that other person is saying, this other person has so much more than me. It's a merry-go-round. It never stops. Just don't get involved. Get off that merry-go-round of comparison. Also, I would suggest you don't get caught up in retail thinking. That's highly emotional. Between hope, optimism, and thrill, like getting on a roller coaster. Professionals don't do roller coasters. And of course, the bottom part of the roller coaster, when it dips, is a horrible feeling. Anxiety, anger, panic, capitulation. These are not any emotion that is good for you. Actually, they're incredibly stressful. So I suggest when you read any article that wants to pull you into this retail way of thinking, just reject it and say, not for me, thank you very much. What you need is a smart money mindset. Smart money professionals are in zone 3 and zone 4. They subscribe to positive excellence. They are unemotional because they have the knowledge of what to do. They know how to mark up their charts. They know how to collect probabilities like a good detective outside crypto and inside crypto. Before they buy and sell, they make sure that self-doubt and self-sabotage do not kill their trade. And we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. So even as an investor, you need to know how to trade. It's absolutely critical. And there are many, many methods that you combine to buy and to sell. Rule 45 is incredibly important to us. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. I often say, if you wanted to know what had happened to your beloved alt, point the finger at Bitcoin and say, Bitcoin did it. Every day we go through top cryptos and community favorites, and what you will see is this pattern inside Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is currently trading at 29,452. You'll see this pattern playing out in alt after alt after alt. It's really important to understand Bitcoin first before you go cuddle your beloved alts. We can also see that the crypto fear and greed index is really, really low. This is post-COVID low, COVID sell-off low. This is really, really low, black swan low. A lot of investors say they want to dollar cost average in, but when they get to prices like this, they say, I think it can go lower. So they don't dollar cost average in, but they dollar cost average in on the way up, but not on the way down. You want to dollar cost average in on the way down and actually sell on the way up. It's a completely different way of looking at things, and that's what professionals do. Professionals, BORSOG, they buy on red and they sell on green. And buy on red doesn't mean you just come in at one level and put it all down like a bet at the casino. That's not BORSOGing, that's just gambling. What we do is that we layer down BORSOG at levels of support, and the SOG, which is sell on green, we scale out at levels of resistance. But there is a lot of knowledge on how to do this. Many people say, Ken, it's simple. Buy on red, sell on green. It's just like parking a car. You can see people can park cars in all kinds of different ways. But when fear is overextended like this is a really, really good time to BORSOG. You may not pick the exact bottom, and there's no requirement to. What you will find, smart money doesn't even care about bottoms or tops. They're participating on the way through. When we look at open interest, we had a crossover in terms of resistance, and more money is flowing back into the crypto market, and that may seem counterintuitive. You say, Ken, but price is just moving flatline. Exactly, that's actually a good thing. The price, the sellers haven't been able to continue to push price down, and that is pretty cool. And when we think about the weekend volumes are notoriously light. What this basically says, there were a lot of long liquidations and a lot of short liquidations, especially at this point on the 12th of May 2022. And from there, there's a kind of a stalemate going on inside the market, but we can see the buy and sell volume has remained quite high. Bitcoin is currently trading at 29,441. What are we actually seeing here? There's a resistance that we're trying to overcome, and we're trying to get past this level of resistance at 1, which is 30,814. We've seen that time and time again, the support level at A of 28,940 has held incredibly well, and these levels are actually derived from the CTKS method. This is the method that we teach in the masterclass, and it's specifically designed to capture the exponential price action of crypto. We actually can also see that underneath we've got varying levels of support, and these are key support levels, and especially the support level at C. Yesterday it was 25,162. Let's check out what it is today. Looking at the KS model, we look towards this red line because we buy on red, and this particular red line is a really, really good red line. It tends to capture the exponential blow-offs in crypto. No matter what happens, this is a very, very good indicator, and it's currently registering up here in this corner, 25,163.97. So let's pop that in our model. Done. It's now aligned in C. This gives us an idea that there's a lot of support, a lot of confluence of support around the C area. Many people thought that Bitcoin would basically hover around 1 and A. That is correct. We need to keep our eye on a couple of things. We're about 14% away from an absolute wall of support, and you don't want to sell at support. And when we think the other way, we're about 35% away from a wall of resistance. We need to get above 4. We need to get towards 5. Maybe I just put it up here so we can get a better indication. So we're about 44.78% away from the 42,704 level. I like to get things precise, so I've just arranged that a little. So it's about 44.87% away currently. There's a lot of significance in level 5. If we get consistently above level 5 and things start to rally, The thesis of the bear market is well and truly over. A lot of people are calling for crypto winter, and that's just retail thinking. It's very, very nasty for people to think that price is going to come down by orders of magnitude. In fact, when we look at the KS model and we go back to the 2016 halving cycle, if we were to just draw this price action, which is this price action exactly here, pull it back to here, it looks like this. It's been completely and utterly suppressed by black swan after black swan after black swan after black swan after black swan. Let's have a couple of those. And what has it done? It's pushed price down. When you don't have exponential blow off tops, guess what? You don't get exponential blow off bottoms. It's just a law inside the markets. You've got to be aware that a lot of people, when they analyze charts, they don't do this kind of analysis. They look specifically at the chart and say, oh, this thing that happened, oh, that's just a normal part of Bitcoin's price action. And what was it? It was Black Thursday, the COVID and US liquidity crisis. This is a black swan event, but many people say, oh, just ignore those black swans. They don't matter. It's just Bitcoin doing Bitcoin. I can say it is not. It is the impact of external events on the crypto market. And it's important to be aware that crypto is a really tiny market in comparison to the stock market and the bond market. All of these markets are important and all are interdependent on each other. The best piece of advice anybody can ever give is to make your own decisions as to what you will do with your portfolio if price goes in your direction, goes against you, or goes flat, as it has done for the past 9 days. Only you know, and only you can make that decision. And it's really important you have some kind of strategy in play. A lot of people, when they enter crypto, they're like a light switch. They go all in or they go all out. I would suggest you be more like a dimmer and just take some off if you're feeling risk averse, but don't take all of it off. And this is the way professionals invest and trade. And we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. But the vast majority of investors have no idea how to trade. Please let me know in the comments, where do you think we're going to go by tomorrow? Do you think we're going to come down, for example, below A, maybe to B or to C? Pick whatever letter you would feel comfortable with. Or do you think we're going to go up to 1 or 2? Or do you think we're just going to be range bound? Masterclass students, you'll get this live chart in TG34. Let's have a look at the longs and the shorts. The shorts have been coming out of the market. When the shorts go into the market parabolically, we could expect that they think the price is coming down. When they come out of the market, they're not getting so sure. And what does price tend to do? It tends to go up. What are we actually seeing here? The longs are also leaving the market. There's a real battle going on here. The longs and the shorts are fighting it out, but cooperatively so. What do I mean by that? The shorts are there to cool things down. The longs are there to heat things up. It's just like yin and yang. When we look at liquidations across the past 24 hours, we see 77.35 million in liquidations occurring across 49,515 positions. And when we look at total liquidations across the past 24 hours, we can see about 60% were short. Over the past 12 hours, 67% short liquidation. Over the past 4 hours, about 61% liquidations, long liquidations. And across the past hour, about 73% short liquidations. You can see the crypto market is absolutely insane when it comes to bouncing up and down. If you're using leverage, you're going long or short on leverage, you will get wiped out at some stage. It's just utterly guaranteed. It really doesn't matter. Longs and shorts are always getting hammered. And this is a part and a parcel of the crypto market. Please bear this in mind. Friends don't let friends leverage trade. As a beloved community member and CTKS ambassador said, It's important that you don't do that until you are a professional. And when you are professional, you can do it if you want, but you do so with the knowledge that you can lose everything you have and even more. This is in stark contrast to people just getting into the crypto market that think that leverage trading is a great way to magnify your gains. In fact, you'll end up magnifying your losses. There's no quick buck anywhere. You have to work hard for it. We also have light volume in the crypto market because it's the weekend. This is what we expect. Please let me know in the comments, what crypto projects are you really tracking and interested in? We can see futures open interest starting to kick up and a kick back down, but it's still being supported, and we would at least expect it to come back to around this level. Turning to Bitcoin options, expiring at the end of the month, the max paying price is $34,000. This is where the majority of the options, both for the negative, the put side, where they are expecting lower prices, and the call side, where they're expecting higher prices, would expire worthless. And we can see the max paying price of $34,000 in comparison to the current price, which is $29,408. That's about 15.615% away. If we have a look at towards the end of June, we can see a lot of positive momentum. A lot of calls entering the market. What about the end of July? We can see more bearish bets. What about the end of September? We can see many, many more positive bets. And these are bets. That's important to understand. These are bets inside the market. But by September, people are expecting up to $400,000 in Bitcoin and all the way down to $15,000. But note, it's 15,000, not 1,000. What about if we go a little bit further? What about the end of the year, the Christmas rally? What are we seeing here? Up to 80,000, 100,000. Not bad. And a key level around the 25. What you actually see, yes, this is gambling, absolutely. But the gambling is done with some degree of intelligence as well. So what does this actually mean? If I just go back to September, you can see there are a lot of positive bets being made on the plus side. What does this actually mean? That a lot of people expect the price of Bitcoin to rise up and rise up strongly, all the way potentially to 400,000. There's a bit of a negative skew as well. They potentially think it could fall to 10,000, but not much interest there. And this is open interest. This is about how interested people are in placing these gambles on the market. This is very, very interesting. What we're seeing is if the market was expected to absolutely die, to be in crypto winter, why would you have things like this? This would just be insane. They would all be on the bearish side, all the way down to say $1,000. But that's simply not the case. And when we actually BORSOG, we buy on red and sell on green. With knowledge, we know how to park the car properly because we have the skills. We've done the test. What you actually see is this is throwing a really, really good light on the crypto market. And I like to say, just forget about bull markets and forget about bear markets. Buying on red, selling on green is the way that you want to approach the market. If you approach it, for example, you can think that you can only make money in bull markets, and in bear markets you can't make money. Do you think that the institutions pack up shop and go home when there's a bear market? Of course not. They're always there. They're always making money, and you can too, but you need the knowledge. You need to run the numbers. You need to understand how to stack probabilities, how to understand percentages, and that may seem pretty easy, but actually it has a lot of nuances, and you need to embrace losses. When people BORSOG, they're buying on red, which means they're in a loss position at the start. When you do it properly, things can turn around and turn around exceptionally well because you're actually moving with the market cycle. You need to understand how price moves in waves. For example, what most people do is they buy as price is going up and they sell as price is going down. They're consistently on the wrong side of the trade. What you will find, if you actually buy at lower and lower prices, you're lowering your average buy price. And isn't that dollar cost averaging to a T? That's what all the influencers tell you to do. They say dollar cost average, but when you get the absolute ideal times to dollar cost average in, what do they say then? Don't dollar cost average in. Get out, sell, sell. And another good thing to keep in mind is Rule 829. It's all about percentages and not about price. If you make 10% on Bitcoin and you make 10% on a crypto that's way out, number 19,320 in the ranking, you still made 10%. But the risk profiles are incredibly different on the two. Let's have a look at the top 100. We can see MTL up 28.75%, Kava up 20.27%, IoTex up 19.4%, Clay up 13.43%, DCR up nearly 10%, Phantom 7.5% roughly, KSM around 6%, Cake around 6%, Binance Coin around 5%, Aave around 4%, and so on. On the other side of the equation, we can see Anchor Protocol, ANC, down nearly 70%, CVX nearly 19%, HNT 18%, Mana about 18%, The Graph about 18%, and Cello 17% down. Looking quickly at DeFi, we can see total value locked in DeFi up 0.14% today to $109.56 billion. Looking at total value locked across all chains, Ethereum still dominates, and we can see Ethereum has $70.34 billion locked, Binance Smart Chain $8.93 billion, AVAX $4.58 billion, and Tron $4.35 billion. Let's look at the top 8, and when we see Bitcoin, we can see Bitcoin is just trading in a channel at the moment. It's starting to come up, and we've seen a lot of short liquidations being witnessed by that, and the sellers are having a lot of trouble pushing price down. Does that mean this is the bottom? No, it doesn't. You always have to think in 3 ways. What if the price goes down? What do you do? What if the price goes flat? What do you do? And what if the price goes up? What do you do? That's how professionals think. Basically, professionals don't care where the price is going because they have a strategy for each dimension, down, flat, and also up. Now, this part of our analysis together is looking at Bitcoin's fingerprint, this blue line, and we actually want to understand how the other cryptos are behaving relative to that. And when we look at Ethereum, we can see Ethereum following Bitcoin's gravity. What about Binance Coin? Binance Coin is an exchange token. It's used for trading, and there's a lot of interest in Binance Coin at the moment. What does that mean? Potentially confidence is returning to the crypto market. This is how we can put all our probabilities together. We can stack them. What about XRP? It's just like Ethereum, moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. What about ADA, Cardano, moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, as is Sol? What about Doge, moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity? And we can also see that DOT is moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. It was doing really well, like Binance Coin, but you can see Binance Coin coming up and DOT coming down, but starting to cross over a resistance using the EC method from the Masterclass. So what do we actually say about this? What the conclusion is that we can make: look to Bitcoin first to understand what your beloved alt is doing. Let's have a look at the metaverse. We can see sand obeying Bitcoin's gravity but showing strength. The metaverse is a really interesting area, and it's one that a lot of people can understand. And if you think that Facebook, now Meta, actually went and changed its identity to a metaverse company, this is actually spreading the word of crypto, and that's important. Looking at Axie, very interesting pattern occurring there. Decentraland, Mana, we can see it's been doing well, but which out of these 8 would you actually think is doing the best? People thought yesterday when we were looking at Binance Coin, these 8, Binance Coin was the top. Indeed it was. When we look at the metaverse, what do you think is the top one here? It's really good to discuss these things. Let's have a look at Gala. Gala seeking to turn around. You can see it's covering off an area of resistance. What about Engine Coin? Still under resistance, but just starting to peep up. Ape, just getting over a resistance level. Can't even say it. Chiliz. Chiliz is looking interesting. Got a lot of upward support. Pretty spiky. But check out SLP. SLP, a lot of support below. You know that SLP and Axie run together. And that is quite intriguing. Again, this is something really good to discuss in the comments section. What I try and do is give flag posts, I guess, or signposts towards something that you could look at. And it's really great to chat about it. Let's have a look through some community favorites. Near. Near is getting over resistance, and Near is very spiky, so there could be some very interesting BORSOGs. But please use your own discretion and your own analysis and research. We can see Matic still under resistance. Icon just peeping over resistance, very tight level of resistance at the moment, but it's got support below it. I think the entire crypto market could be about to do something rather interesting, and it might catch a lot of people off guard. Veracity still under resistance, top level resistance. We can see Rose still basically under resistance, but just starting to flatten out. And looking at Rune, still under resistance, but starting to pop over, just in the starting point. What about IOTA? Depending on where you draw the resistance levels in, IOTA is being a little bit supported at the moment, and IOTA can be quite explosive, so just bear that one in mind. And accompanying IOTA, IOTEX in the same sort of industry sector is actually popping out right now. That could mean IOTA will move as well. And this is what we see in the markets all the time. If one particular thing moves, others generally will in the same industry. Let's have a look at some more community favorites. Theta, still under resistance. T-Fuel, still under resistance. What about SHIB? Just getting close to getting above resistance, just the very, very first initial stages. EGLD, still under loose resistance, passing tight resistance. What about Phantom? Phantom, we can see, is above resistance. Now, what happens when things get above resistance? They do this. And crypto is really explosive. If supported by Bitcoin's price action, what you will see is an over-exaggeration of positivity. And this is very frequent. And still, you can see following Bitcoin's gravity. This is the power of Bitcoin's gravity. Don't underestimate it. You need to understand and you need to know about it. What about CHR? CHR getting above resistance. What does this mean? If the price is supported by Bitcoin's price action, we could very well see something like this. But don't FOMO in. Price is always moving in a wave. You never miss out. You're a professional. You're in this for the long run. And don't worry about bull markets and bear markets. It's always just one market, the BORSOG market. LRC, Loopring, is holding up really well. And what do we anticipate on seeing when we actually breach resistance? Phantom could give you an indication. What about Cosmos? We could see Cosmos went above resistance. And what did it do? When it went above that resistance, it broke out. But always be aware, you can always buy lower. Don't FOMO. Looking at some more community favorites, we can see Stellar is just getting over resistance. And what about CRV? You can see it clearly crossed resistance here, and it's supported by price. It will come up to a level of resistance around the 1375 mark. Just bear that one in mind. AVAX. AVAX is starting very close to getting over resistance at the moment. Not quite there, but nearly. What about Arweave? AR, just starting to retest its resistance line. What about Zilliqa? ZIL. And you can see the patterns playing out. Why? Because of Bitcoin's gravity. This is what all of this is about. We can see ZIL and UNI fairly much obeying Bitcoin's gravity in the ups and the downs, but doing so by different percentages. We can see it in FTT as well, up and down by different percentages. Looking at Tron has been aligning and disaligning with Bitcoin's gravity. It's more in alignment right now, but showing some strength as well. I want to let you know that I don't endorse any of these cryptos. You must do your own research and must figure out what is best for you. We have just traveled through 40 cryptos and looked at Bitcoin's gravity as well. If you were to pick just two, what would those two be? Please discuss it in the comments section. It's really good to figure out. And as a community, we always support each other, and it's a very non-toxic place. And something that is also good to discuss is self-doubt and self-sabotage. As an investor, and we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell, so you're actually a trader if you're an investor. Burning past stories that no longer serve you about money, about prosperity, about abundance, about doubt, about not knowing what to do. That's really critical for you to do. You might like to share of a story that you want to burn, and we'll support you by discussing what you actually raise, because that's what we're all about as a community. We're here to lift each other up. And that's why we focus on positive excellence, our kindness and gratitude and happiness, inner and outer peace. But it also comes with a lot of boundaries, strength, courage, honor, persistence, and commitment. It's good to share your stories, but never ever be a victim of a story that you need to burn. Life happens for you, not to you. You always have to look for the positive in what happens, and there's no step backwards without 2 steps forward. Life is always waiting for you to be ready for abundance. I hope you found the content useful. I won't go through the crypto market again. I'll just say, please be aware, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. And thank you for watching, and thank you to our moderators and CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students. And I would really love to see your comments. Have a good weekend, everyone, and I'm going to be back from my honeymoon in a couple of days, so I look forward to chatting with you again then. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.